Hello, hello, good morning. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to share with you the message I've got for you today, which is the importance of your personal brand moving into the new year and the business implications of focusing on your personal brand and what that's going to take. Now, there are many people peddling different parts of the personal brand journey. And in so doing, they are mistakenly representing those things as all of what it takes to build your personal brand, or all, I should say, of what your personal brand is. And so I really want you to drill down with me, pay attention here, and notice what I'm saying. See, your personal brand is essentially you earning the right to make a promise to your customer, to your audience, not even your customer first, but your audience first. It's earning the right to make a promise to your audience. And once you've done that, once you've earned the right to make a promise to your audience, you have to keep that promise. And so what does it take to do those things? First, to earn the right, and then to make the promise. Well, you earn the right by consistency, showing up with consistency over time. You earn the right by demonstrating your integrity and your expertise. And you earn the right by doing some sort of non-sexy, shoulder to the grindstone kind of work. The way we build our personal brands these days, if you're watching this, it'll be relevant to you. The way we build our personal brands is on social media. Of course, we do live events and things like that, and we go and we meet people IRL whenever we can, but 95% of it is going to be on social media. And so the first thing you have to do is you have to show up with consistency. The second thing you have to do, and give me just a second here, I'm going to go ahead and share this. There we go. Share it to my group as well. The second thing you have to do is demonstrate your personality. Now, you may think that the second thing you have to do is demonstrate your expertise, but in the beginning, your personality is what's going to draw us to you more than your expertise. I know it sounds counterintuitive. It's just the way we're wired. We first want to know if we like you and you like us. And this goes back, this is evolutionary psychology, by the way. This goes back to the days that we lived in the tall grass and slept in caves and hunted in packs. The first thing we need to know about someone is, are they friend or foe? Which is, do I like them and do they like me? The second thing we need to know about someone is, can they help me or do they need me to help them? By the way, this is why, in terms of charisma quotient, the most powerful kind of combination of traits you can have is powerful and friendly. That is the most charismatic of traits. And while we're on the subject, it might be something to think about injecting into your content, which your content is the conveyor of your personal brand. And so the first thing we need to do is show up with personality. Well, consistency first. Second, personality. Third, expertise. Third is expertise. Once I feel like I know you and I like you, then the next thing I assess is whether or not you can help me. Demonstration of your expertise is going to show me whether you can help me or not. Does this make sense? Are you tracking this? So first thing, consistency. Second thing, personality. Third thing, expertise. So let's talk a little bit about the importance of your personal brand moving into the new year and beyond. Think of it this way. Trust is the foundation upon which all business in the online space occurs. Now, of course, there are some people who manipulate that trust, but that's not you. God, I hope it's not you. So we're talking about people who operate in alignment with their integrity. Trust is the most high leverage thing that exists. Trust is what you want above all else, and you have to earn that trust. Remember at the beginning, I said, first you have to earn the right to make a promise, and then you have to make that promise. So the making the promise part is where the trust comes in. And the trust comes in as an outgrowth of your consistency, your integrity, your being who you really are. And so moving into the last quarter of the year, next year and beyond, trust is going to be more and more of a currency than it already is. Now, you may think to yourself, well, if I just have a good funnel, that'll solve the problem. It'll solve the problem to the extent that people trust you enough to go through your funnel. You may think to yourself, well, if I just have a good Facebook ads guy or YouTube ads guy or generally an ads guy or girl or agency, that'll solve the problem. It'll solve the problem to the extent that they are able to first create trust with the campaign. If you know anything about running ads, you know running ads to a cold audience is massively more expensive than running ads to a warm audience. Massively more expensive. And so, how do you get that warm audience? Well, you get them through a content strategy that one of its primary aims is the development of trust. Make sense? Good. So, moving into the last quarter of the year and into the new year, you're going to want to focus on trust to make every other part of the customer journey easier. Everything else you do will become easier. Your copywriting, your landing pages, your funnel building, your Facebook ads, your YouTube ads, your whatever it is going to be easier if you've spent the time ahead of time to cultivate trust and cultivate trust in a way that you can deliver upon. Because remember, the ultimate goal of any promotion you do, including your long-term personal branding strategy, is to bring people as clients into your world. If you're bringing people as clients into your world, they've got to trust you. Make sense? So the next piece of how to think of your personal brand in terms of moving forward is you're going to have to think bigger. You're going to probably have to think bigger than you do now. Technically, I'm thinking of multi-channel distribution of your content, but that's a little bit too technical. It's a little unsexy, and it's not really how I want to encourage you to think about it. I want to encourage you to think about it in terms of omnipresence. So the more places you can be with the same or slightly more effort, the more impact your efforts have, right? So instead of doing a video on YouTube like I'm doing now, do the video on YouTube, simultaneously do it on Facebook. Then send it to your VA or whoever you have or Fiverr and have them edit it down and promote it piece by piece on different channels. Have them edit it down short enough to go on Instagram. Put it on LinkedIn. You see what I'm saying? And so this is how you start to think bigger and develop your omnipresence. Next, you have to be able to guide people back to where you ultimately want to talk to them. That may be your group on LinkedIn. That may be your YouTube channel. That may be your Facebook group. Whatever it is, right? You're going to have ultimately your email list. Ultimately, you want one place that you talk to people. So anywhere you draw them from, whatever platform you draw them from, have an easy way for them to get rewarded for coming back to one central location to talk to you. That's pretty much it. Now, obviously, there's much more to it than that. But I mean, in terms of how to think about scaling your personal brand and the impact that it creates, that's pretty much what you need to do. And I want you to really understand, Gary Vaynerchuk, of course, said attention is currency. And more than ever, attention is currency. But you also have to know how to convert that attention to currency. So you've got to pay attention to getting attention. It's really, really important. It's the difference between being successful and being a best kept secret. And then once you do it, you have to have methodologies in place for converting that attention into clients, right? This is going to be offers. This is going to be email opt-ins. It's going to be, invitations to your groups, whatever it is. You've got to be able to take people along the journey. Once enough people see you, you'll automatically start to get a percentage of them that know you, like you, and trust you. When you get them down to the like and the trust, you have to have systems in place for getting in conversations with them. So there you have it in a nutshell. And of course, we could drill down into any aspect of this much, much further than we have here. But in a nutshell, I want you to think about thinking bigger, multi-channel distribution, and I want you to think about showing up first with consistency, second with personality, third with expertise in all of your content. And remember that each piece of content you distribute is just one brushstroke in the masterpiece that is your personal brand. Stay tuned for more tomorrow, the next day, the next day, and the next day. But for today, I know I've given you enough to think about. All right. Thanks very much. There we go.